91. The voice of the desert. Singing sand dunes. Some dunes sing, a low, resonant hum when the wind is right. The grains vibrate together. Not every sand dune sings, only the ones with memory. Friction becomes harmony. Maybe your silence hides a song, waiting for the right wind. 92. The drop that balances surface tension and cohesion. A water droplet holds shape. Tension wraps it. A delicate skin made of force, too small to see, but strong enough to hold. You too have edges, invisible strength, soft but holding everything. 93. The tree that climbs itself, capillary action. Water rises even in defiance of gravity, drawn upward by vessels inside bark. Capillary action. No pump, no push, just pull, just thirst. What if your growth is the same, a quiet reaching, from root to light? 94. The glass that flows. Time in solids. Glass is not truly solid. It flows, slowly. Ancient windows sag at the bottom. Time reveals motion, even when it looks like stillness. You are changing too, even now. 95. The plant that moves, Mimosa pudica. Touch it and it folds. The shy plant. Reaction without nerve. Defense through retreat. It is not weak, it is responsive. There is wisdom in withdrawal. 96. The egg that breathes. Porous protection. An eggshell looks solid, but it's covered in pores. Air flows in, moisture out. Life incubates within breath. Protection is not always closure. Sometimes it's permeability, boundaries that breathe. 97. The night that glows. Bioluminescent bays. Some shores shimmer at night. Organisms light up when touched. Movement becomes glow. The sea remembers every step. Even in darkness, you leave a trail of light. 98. The bubble that reflects. Thin film interference. A soap bubble glows with shifting rainbows, not from dye, from layers, light bouncing within thinness. Even fragility refracts wonder, beauty in breath's architecture. 99. The time before time. Planck epoch. There was a moment so small, time didn't exist. The Planck epoch. Before light, before separation, all things condensed, unified, and then expansion. Time began with becoming. So did you. 100. The pause that ends the story. You. You've wandered through stars and seeds, listened to glaciers breathe, watched fireflies blink like prayers. Now, at the end of this hour, a final truth. You are not the observer. You are the story. Fold into your darkness. Let it hold you. The universe has more to tell you, but for now, it is enough. Sleep well. You are part of this. You always were. 101. The coral that keeps time. Reef rhythms and lunar clocks. Coral does not wear a watch, but it knows when the moon is full. Each month, as light swells, it releases life. In sync, in stillness, in certainty. Timing is not always measured. Sometimes it is remembered. 102. the smoke that shapes sky. Volcanic ash and global cooling. When fire reaches sky, it leaves a shadow. Volcanic ash dims the sun, cools the earth. A planet shivers because a mountain spoke. Your anger, too, leaves echoes. But sometimes cooling is needed. 103. The heart of ice. Glaciers that flow like rivers. They seem frozen, still, dead. But glaciers move. They carry time in creaks and drips. Every inch they shift reshapes the world. Stillness is not the absence of motion. It's the presence of slow intention. 104. The whale's spiral. Bubble net feeding and collective design. Whales trap fish using air. They swim in circles, releasing bubbles. A trap built from breath. Design without blueprint. Hunger made graceful. What patterns are you spinning unseen? 105. The metal that remembers. Shape memory alloys. Some metals forget, but some remember their form, bend them, twist them, they return to what they were. Memory written in atoms, so ask yourself, what shape is yours? 106. The sky that sings, auroras and solar wind. The sun whispers to the earth. Its voice, particles. Its echo, light. Auroras dance when the sky listens. Your joy might be the same, unseen until it collides with the right silence. 107. The sand that remembers wind. Dune. Patterns and movement. Wind is invisible, but dunes remember. Their curves are records, maps of motion. So is your spine, so is your voice. You carry the weather that shaped you. 108. The flower that feeds on flesh, nature's reversal. The predator isn't always the lion. Sometimes it's rooted. Pitcher plants, Venus flytraps, green hunger. Life adapts not by strength, but by inversion. You too can rewrite the rules. 109. The river below the river. Subglacial lakes and hidden currents. Beneath miles of Antarctic ice, a lake flows. Hidden, warm, ancient. No sun, no sky, still it moves. You don't need the surface to be alive, just depth. 110. The moon's locked gaze, tidal locking and intimacy in orbit. The moon shows us one face, always, because it spins just right. This is not stillness, it's sync. Sometimes love looks like orbit, sometimes presence is a kind of gravity. 111. The crystal that hears, piezoelectricity and pressure songs. Quartz hums when pressed, not metaphorically, musically. Pressure becomes voltage, force becomes sound. Your tension holds a frequency. Listen closely. You might be singing. 112. The spider that builds without sight. Web geometry in darkness. Spiders don't see their webs. They feel them. They count with legs, trace with memory, design through touch. You don't need vision to build, just presence, just tension, just trust. 113. The cell that commits, apoptosis and graceful endings. Some cells choose to die, not from harm, from purpose. They step aside to let life continue. Apoptosis, the biology of letting go. What if endings are not failure, but choreography? 114. The desert that blooms, dormancy and sudden color, years of nothing, then one rain, and the desert erupts in petals. Color from sleep. You are allowed to bloom late. You are allowed to surprise even yourself. 115. The ocean that glows, milky seas and luminous bacteria. Sometimes the sea lights up for miles, white, ghostly, endless, not moonlight, microbes, bacteria in unison. Even the smallest things can shine the widest, especially together. 116. The bone that repairs, density and response. Bone is not static. It listens to pressure, to gravity, to movement. It breaks, then strengthens. You are not fragile. You are feedback. 117. The forest that talks, tree roots and fungal networks. Underground, trees whisper. Through roots, through fungi. Warnings, nourishment, memory, community that touches without sound. The deepest bonds are not always seen, but they sustain. 118. The light that delays, gravitational time dilation. In gravity's arms, time slows. A second stretched, a clock that lags near stars. The stronger the pull, the deeper the drag. You are not late. You are just close to something heavy. 119. The river that rewrites itself, meanders and shifting paths. Rivers do not flow straight. They bend, loop, break, return. Each curve is correction, each detour design. You are not lost. You are meandering, like all living things. 120. The flame that thinks, fire ecology and intelligent destruction. Fire destroys, but also renews. Seeds crack open in heat. Forests regrow from ash. Destruction isn't the end. It's an invitation to begin again, brighter. 121. The eye that sees heat, infrared and hidden light. Not all sight sees color. Some sees warmth. Infrared reveals what glows beneath the surface. Blood, breath, embers. What if feeling is another kind of vision? 122. The butterfly's path, chaos theory in flight. They flutter without pattern, but small choices ripple. One shift here, a storm there. It's not disorder, it's sensitivity, and your smallest acts matter. 123. The feather that floats, air resistance and drift. A feather falls slowly, not because it's weak, because it listens to air. It rides resistance like a dance. There is wisdom in yielding. There is grace in drift. 124. The dawn inside you, circadian rhythms and internal light. You have a clock, not on your wrist, in your cells, tuned to sun and shadow, each hormone, each breath, carried by rhythm. You don't find balance, you return to it. 125. The shadow that speaks. Eclipses and celestial alignment. When shadow passes over sun, the world pauses. An eclipse, not darkness, but alignment. You are not being blocked. You are being realigned. 126. The snow that sings. Avalanche warnings in vibration. Snow listens. Each flake holds tension. And when the mountain hums wrong, it answers. Collapse isn't sudden. It's cumulative. Pay attention to your own creaks. 127. The particle that borrows. Quantum tunneling and possibility. Some particles break rules. They pass through walls. Not because they push, because they borrow time. Reality makes exceptions. Maybe your leap doesn't need permission. 128. The star that eats. Black holes and event horizons. Some stars collapse so completely they devour light. But even they release radiation. Hawking taught us that nothing is absolute, not even endings. Even voids whisper. 129. The earth that rings. Seismic echoes and planetary song. After an earthquake, the earth rings like a bell. Its tone rolls beneath our feet for hours. You don't need ears to hear truth. You just need stillness. 131. The comet that comes back. Orbits and memory. Some paths don't lead away. They circle, disappear, only to return. Comets trace memory across centuries. What left you might not be gone. It might be on its way back. 132. The silence in stone. Petrification and time's patience. A tree becomes stone. Not quickly, not violently, just faithfully. Mineral replaces cell. Time speaks in texture. You don't have to rush to last. 133. The cell that waits. Bacterial endospores. Some bacteria pause. They dry, shrink, sleep. Then, decades later, awaken. Endospores. Tiny prophets of survival. You are allowed to go dormant. That doesn't mean you're done. 134. The heat that rises. Convection in everything. Warmth moves. It rises through soup, through sky, through skin. Convection is the lift of energy. You are not stuck. You are heating. Give it time. You will rise. 135. The ocean's pulse. Thermohaline circulation. The sea has a heartbeat. Cold sinks. Salt moves. Currents flow like veins. The planet breathes through water. So do you. Your stillness is part of something larger. 136. The plant that counts steps. Thigmonasty in motion. Some plants move only after enough touches. They count contact. They remember patterns. Like you don't react to everything, only what builds, only what matters. 137. The color that changes. Chameleons and skin signals. Chameleons shift not for hiding, but for expression, mood, temperature. intention. They speak in color. You do too, not with pigment, with presence. 138. The rock that floats, pumice and lightness in fire. It came from flame, but it floats, pumice, solid stone filled with air. Not all that's heavy must sink, not all pain weighs forever. 139. The brain that rewires, neuroplasticity and becoming. Your mind is not fixed. Neurons shift, pathways reshape, thought carves trail. Learning is not filling, it's growing. You are not finished, you are rewiring. 140. The wind that remembers, aeolian landscapes. Wind leaves marks, carves stone, shapes dune, memory in motion. The gentlest force over time is the strongest. So be patient. Even breath can move mountains.
141. The seed that rests in fire. Pyrophytic survival. Some seeds won't open unless touched by flame. They wait for heat, for destruction. Then they bloom. What scorches you might also free you. Not all fire burns down. Some clears the way. 142. The mountain that grows, plate tectonics and patient uplift. Mountains rise, not in leaps, in inches, pushed upward by collisions below. You are not static, even your stillness is climbing. 143. The shell that spirals, Fibonacci in nature. Spirals appear again and again in shells, galaxies, flowers, not by choice, by rhythm. The pattern of growth written in math. What's unfolding in you might not be chaos, it might be symmetry. 144. The ice that speaks, ice cores and climate memory. We drill into ancient ice, and it breathes old air. Each bubble, a season. Each layer, a history. The past is not lost, it's buried and whispering. 145. The leaf that drinks light. Photosynthesis as alchemy. A leaf does what gold cannot, turns light into life, breathes in what we exhale, feeds what we become. It's not just chemistry, it's green magic. 146. The shadow beneath wings, Bernoulli and lift. Birds fly not by pushing down, but by pulling up. Air moves faster above than below. Pressure drops, wings rise. You don't always need force. Sometimes you need shape. 147. The flower that tracks the sun, heliotropism. Some blooms follow the sun. They turn slowly, not for warmth, for knowing. Light is their compass. Maybe joy is yours. 148. The molecule that folds, protein structure and function. Form defines purpose. A protein is just a string until it folds. Then it becomes something. So do you. Shape changes everything. 149. The lightning without rain, dry storms and silent fire. Lightning cracks. No thunder, no rain, only spark. Dry storms ignite forests. Truth doesn't always arrive gently. Sometimes it strikes. 150. The dust that settles, atmospheric particles and time. Dust floats through sunbeams. Then it lands, layer by layer, becoming history. Be patient. Even the unsettled eventually rests. Even you. 151. The mirror of the sky.
albedo, and reflection. The earth wears a mirror. Ice reflects sunlight. White shields warmth. Albedo, the light we turn away. What you reflect defines what you keep. Even silence bounces energy. 152. The cave that breathes. Barometric breathing. Deep caves inhale and exhale. Air moves with pressure shifts. The earth breathing in its sleep. So when you feel the wind change, it may be the stone's sigh. Even darkness has lungs. 153. The plastic that becomes life. Microbial evolution. We feared the waste would last forever. But nature is patient. Bacteria evolved to eat plastic. Even poison becomes potential. Despair is not the final form. 154. The volcano that paints. Mineral pigments in ash. Ash settles, and centuries later we grind it into color: ochre, umber, flame red. The mountain's fury becomes human story. Art born from eruption. 155. The animal that doubles. Parthenogenesis. Some creatures don't need partners. They split themselves, create life from within. Sharks, lizards, bees. Alone does not mean empty. Sometimes it means enough. 156. The pulse beneath cities. Subterranean heat maps. Cities glow underground. Pipes, wires, echoes of use. We map them in warmth, the living heat of machines in motion. Your past leaves heat behind. So does your purpose. 157. The bird that sleeps on wind. Frigate bird, rest patterns. Frigate birds sleep while flying, minutes at a time. Half their brain stays awake. Rest without falling. Maybe you don't need to stop completely, maybe just enough. 158. The fungus that thinks. Mycelium networks and intelligence. Mushrooms are fruit. The mind is underground. Mycelium connects, shares, remembers. Intelligence with no brain. Wisdom in the dirt. Answers beneath the question. 159. The sound beneath silence. Infrasound and hidden vibrations. Elephants speak in rumbles we can't hear. Waves too low for ears. But they travel for miles. Not all communication is volume. Some is depth. 160. The breath that melts metal. Thermite and reaction. Mix rust and aluminum. Add flame. The reaction burns hotter than lava. Steel collapses. Even stillness contains violence, if arranged the right way.
The metal that floats, ship hulls and displacement. Steel is heavier than water, but ships float, not because they resist sinking, but because they displace. It's not the weight that matters, it's the shape you carry. atomic timekeeping. We no longer tell time with ticking. We measure it in vibrations of atoms. Precision at the edge of stillness. Your rhythm may be quiet, but it can still keep perfect time. 1063. The lake that turns over. Seasonal inversion. In winter, a lake rests, then it flips. Cold sinks, warmth rises. Nutrients mix, life returns. Stillness can be deceiving. Underneath, preparation, resonance, and amber. When trees are wounded, they don't wither, they seal. Sap becomes amber, fossilized light. Your pain may one day glow and preserve what mattered. Planet that wanders, rogue planets and gravity lost. Not every planet orbits a star. Some drift alone, warmed from within, carrying their own silence.
Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io.
'66. The bird that paints, bowerbirds and aesthetics. They collect blue, bottle caps, berries, petals. To attract a mate, male bowerbirds build art, not nests, galleries. Science once scoffed, but now we see beauty is part of survival. Maybe your creativity is not a luxury. Maybe it's instinct. 67. The sleep of bears, torpor and memory. Hibernation is not a switch, it's a slide. Bears slow, cool, drift, but they don't forget. They wake up in spring remembering where they left off. Even sleep can be intentional. 68. The pressure of silence, deep sea stillness. At the ocean's floor, silence is heavy, crushing, endless. Creatures glow to be seen, stretch to survive. We thought nothing could live there. We were wrong. Pressure doesn't kill. It reshapes. 69. The echo that builds. Elephant infrasound. Elephants speak below human hearing. Rumbles that cross miles. They coordinate, grieve, remember, without shouting. Your loudness doesn't determine your strength. Sometimes the deepest truths are nearly silent. 70. The crystal that feeds, snowflakes and dust. Every snowflake begins with dust, something rough, tiny, overlooked. Water clings, freezes, expands, and beauty forms around imperfection. Maybe your flaw is the seed. Maybe that's where your elegance begins. 71. The shell that listens, Nautilus and Fibonacci. The Nautilus spirals in perfect math, not by thinking, by being. Each chamber echoes a ratio, Fibonacci, nature's quiet signature. What if growth isn't expansion? What if it's repetition with grace? You don't need to change everything, just one line, curved rightly. 72. The salamander's sleep, metabolism in repose. Salamanders slow until nearly still. Their breath quiets, their blood cools, yet life continues softly, deeply. Not all motion is visible. You too survive in stillness, even when no one sees, especially then. 73. The cloud that thinks, weather and chaos. A butterfly flaps, a storm forms. Weather is not random, it's sensitive. Each cloud, each wind, memory in motion. Your thoughts too shift systems. Maybe you're not small, maybe you're catalytic. 74. The moth's moon, navigating by glow. Moths spiral toward light. They evolved for the moon. Now they find bulbs instead. Not wrong, just repurposed instinct. What pulls you now, and does it still guide you true? 75. The coral's clock, tides and time. Once a year, at the same hour, coral release their spawn across oceans without a signal, just lunar pull, warmth, time. They trust the moment, even in the dark. So can you. 76. The lizard that runs on water. Basilisk's balance. Its feet slap so fast it skims across ponds. The basilisk lizard, impossible but real. It doesn't float, it keeps moving. What fear are you sinking in? Try running anyway. 77. The ice that burns. Dry ice sublimation. Some ice skips water, solid to gas. No melting, just release. It disappears into breath. Not all change is gradual. Some things vanish on their own terms, like old selves, old fears. 78. The fruit that signals. Ethylene and ripening. One apple ripens, then releases a scent, and others follow. Fruit communicates, chemically, invisibly. Ripening is contagious. So is readiness, so is courage. 79. The light in bones. Biophotons in biology. Your body glows, not visibly, but truly. Cells emit light, soft, faint. Biophotons, whispering at quantum levels. You are starlight, still speaking, even now. 80. The fire in your muscles. Mitochondria's gift. Tiny engines, powerhouses, once separate life forms, now part of you. They burn sugar into motion. Your every blink owes them. You are not one thing. You are cooperation, ancient, evolved, embodied. 81. The mirror in the sky. Ice halos and sundogs. Sometimes light bends through ice, circling the sun with phantom rings. Sundogs, halos, visions in daylight. Not magic, refraction, beauty made from chill and angle. What looks divine often is physical. And what is physical can still feel holy. 82. The leaf that counts light. Photoperiodism in plants. A plant knows how long a day is. It counts sunlight. And when the tally tips, it blooms. Not by clock, by photon. You don't have to rush. You'll bloom when it's time. Your cells remember how. 83. The river in the sky. Atmospheric rivers. There are rivers above us, invisible bands of water vapor. They carry storms, feed valleys, cross continents. You breathe under a tide you never see. Not all currents are ocean. Not all floods are failure. Some are renewal. 84.
Music licensing.
The feather that grows from skin. Keratin and evolution. Feathers, scales, claws, hair, all from the same molecule. Keratin, shaped by millions of years. Your eyelashes share ancestry with eagles. Connection hides in composition. We are less divided than we think. 85. The star that breathes. Cepheid variables. Some stars pulse. They grow brighter, dimmer, like lungs.
Music
Cepheids,
reimagined.
our cosmic clocks, measuring distance by rhythm. Even stars breathe. And you, so small, so brief, match them, beat for beat. 86. The slime that thinks, physarum and problem solving. It has no brain, but it solves mazes.
Artlist.io.
Slime mold flows toward food, finds shortcuts, remembers paths. Thought without neurons, wisdom without mind. What if intelligence is more humble and more vast? 87. The dust that builds worlds, cosmic particles. Before stars there was dust, tiny grains, spinning, sticking, becoming planets, becoming everything. You are built from what once floated, unseen. Tiny things matter, always have. 88. The whale's map, echolocation through time. Whales carry memory through sound. Echolocation is not just navigation, it's recognition, connection, echoes of migration. They sing paths older than maps. Perhaps your body knows where it's going, even when you don't. 89. The bacteria that listens, quorum sensing. They're single cells, but they count each other. Only when enough gather do they act. Quorum sensing, like revolution, like love. Change needs a threshold, then it unfolds. 90. The fire within wood, stored sunlight. When wood burns, it releases memory, energy once caught by leaves, sunlight saved in cellulose. So fire is photosynthesis in reverse, light returning home, so when you warm your hands, you touch yesterday's sun.
Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io.